Hi everyone, this is Saul Maraney from Johannesburg, South Africa, and I'm really excited to be speaking to you today. Thank you so much for opening up my emails and tuning in always to my show. And as I always say, it's really wonderful to have you part of my internet marketing journey with me. And today I'm speaking to a really exciting marketer, one of the guys that I admire the most, and that's Tom E. from Minnesota. So Tom, thanks so much for coming onto my show today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Ah, that's great. And yeah, I mean, you've got your launch tomorrow. It's the Arbitrage Underdog Reloaded, and we'll come to that in a moment. Your product, the Arbitrage Underdog Reloaded, actually won the WSO of the Year last year, and that's just absolutely amazing. And I know what a wonderful product it is, and it's just really amazing that you're opening it up again, and the launch is going to be happening tomorrow. And I'd like to just start off by, before we come to your product, I know that you're into your music and you've got a lot of fans all over the world. How did you get into internet marketing, and what do you like about this sort of this work that keeps you going every single day?
Well, it's a long story how I got into it, but I'm gonna make it short. It was necessity because this was in 2006. I lost everything that I owned. I got scammed out of all my belongings, all my money, and everything, and I was flat broke. And someone suggested it to me. You got to do something, because I knew I didn't want to work a normal job, and so I just started out of necessity, and it, took me 5 years to really get the hang of it, and then I finally got it down pat in 2012. I started releasing my own products, and it's been successful ever since. I can't remember. I think you had a second question, but I sort of got lost there.
So yeah, the second part of my question was, how do you keep, you have become really successful, and it's not an easy game, to keep going every day. How do you part of that question was, how do you stay so motivated, and how do you keep on top of your game every day?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, now I remember what you said, and you also mentioned, what was it about it that I liked? There's always been two loves in my life professionally, and that's been music and marketing. I really love marketing. I love the challenge of it, and I love, the creativity of it. But internet marketing it was fun, but it wasn't that exciting until I started giving back. When I started focusing more on what can I give to others, how can I be of service to others, that's when it started being rewarding. And ironically, that's when the big money started coming in too. So that's really what keeps it going for me, and it makes it easy to do because it's fun. I make great money, and I get to be of service to other people, and I get to help change their lives. And what could be better than that?
Exactly. What could be better than that? And I agree with you. I think there's only one thing that could be better than that is, connecting how we're connecting now and coming from the heart and really meeting wonderful people, because that's what it's all about. I was chained to a desk as well for a long time, and I decided to make this move. And for people that are watching this and somehow don't believe that internet marketing is real, how do you respond to that? Because I think a lot of people, maybe they've also been scammed out of shiny objects, or guys that come in with saying you buy this one product and it's a push button product. And there are some people out there in our space that even do that. But it is very real. I make money every day, and I know that you make money every day, and the main thing about your product that's coming out is really the social proof, because you have touched the lives of so many people. And I think, more than what people are going to see more than any other product really is just the social, the overwhelming social proof. So it's, for people that don't believe that this is almost real, what do you say to those people out there?
Well, you know what? Actually, our sales page is a really good example, because the social proof on there is real. All the names on there are real. Most of the names have their websites attached to it. Not that I encourage it, because they would get a flood of contacts, but there's nothing in the way for if someone doubted it, if they wanted to contact anyone of the hundreds of people who have left positive reviews for us, either on the Warrior Forum or on our sales page, you could do that. You'd be able to verify it. You can go to their websites. You can see they have big professional websites, and they would have everything to lose by lying about something like that. It wouldn't make sense at all. And also, you know, one of the most alive pieces of proof is just the fact that this product's been on the Warrior Forum since 2013. It's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials from real warriors who are actually successful on there, vouching for the product, you know, putting checks, you know, copies of checks that they've made. You know, I mean, our social proof is overwhelming.
Yeah, it is overwhelming. So I mean, so people like really, and I think it's so important that even if you've had like a bad experience with someone in internet marketing, or you know, just generally as well, I think it goes for in life is like, even for example, like when I got divorced, I had my ex-wife used quite a hectic attorney, and like it's the same thing, is that like I don't want to go about life like thinking every attorney is a scumbag, because I don't believe that, and it also like affects our thinking. So you know, that I mean, there are guys that are unscrupulous, but certainly, I mean, you were voted the top WSO of 2013, and you are one of the amazing guys in our industry, and it goes to show is that, like, you know, we all have to be careful all the time. I mean, I was actually approached like a week ago by a marketer, and he's actually quite a, I mean, people would recognize his name, Tom, and he said to me, please, will you give me a testimonial for my new product? So I said to him, you know, I'd like to see a review copy. Let me look at it, and then, you know, I'm sure like if I like it, I'd like to previous stuff, I'd be happy to provide that. So he said to me, no, it's not ready yet, just like write one up. And I said to him, no, it really goes against everything that I stand for, and it's our name is the most important thing that we have, in our reputation. And I think that also goes down to like the products that people buy and the products that people bring out, is that the most important thing is your reputation, and if you bring out good products, and also if you promote good products to your list, then your list will remain responsive to you, and they'll trust you for what you offer to them, because you know, all you have to do is offer one or two bad products to your list, and then all of a sudden, obviously, that they're not going to trust you anymore, because you know, people put a lot of trust into marketers' hands, and sometimes that can be abused. And I mean, you know, Tom, what is the one thing that you've seen in the space that you don't like, for example?
I mean, it's exactly what you're talking about. It's marketers who are unethical and pass themselves off as ethical. You know, it's funny when when we released Arbitrage Underdog in 2013. We got the domain antigurus.com, and we touted ourselves as the anti-gurus because of that, because, you know, neither me or my business partner like any of those guys, you know, and our sales letter was basically based on that, kind of dogging them and, you know, making a little bit fun of them and this and that, because they're so cheesy and we want people to see through them, you know. And the irony was, within 6 months, I kept seeing all these new sales letters on Warrior Forming. They kind of copied our format, but except it was the big gurus that were using that. And they, you know, so like, here's the big cheesy guru making fun of the cheesy gurus, just to sort of like try to flip it and do like a passive aggressive thing that people wouldn't notice. But yeah, so that's, you know, those are the people that I'm not a big fan of in the industry, because they used to be the sleazy gurus, but now they're the sleazy gurus trying to pass themselves off as the nice guys, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, look, obviously, I mean, you're an individual guy, and you don't follow the herd. And even like I've seen with your music, and I know that you've got like a big following overseas, and you know, maybe even in your like people in your own town, maybe there's not that many people even that, for example, when you travel overseas, that maybe like appreciate your work. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that, but it shows that we have to be individual, and we have to believe in ourselves. And you know, I think it's quite weird how that term guru has actually crept into internet marketing, and I think it's almost like a perverted term, because a guru is someone that you like, that that one can look up to and one can respect. And like when I think of the word internet like marketing guru, it usually comes like with a negative connotation for me personally. And I think that you don't need to be like a guru or like I think of like John Lennon and like going to his gurus and these guys where even though like I think his gurus like when like in those days like they helped him out, it was also like it got off a little bit of like the beaten track. And it's the same, I think it's just ironic how that word guru has like really crept into our industry. And as you say, I think like the people that give the most and share the most and that are the most down to earth, those are people that I look up to personally. Like I know that you're a single dad, and I know that you look after your son, and you're an amazing guy. And like for me, that's a role model. I think like when I hear the word guru, isn't really someone that I personally would like to emulate. That it's like a guy with 5 cars and like bikini women at their like apartment and condo hanging out on the weekends. And I think that it's like sad how that has crept in. And for me is that I am like making a life for myself out of my internet earnings. Thank God, like most of my debt's paid off now, and things are going much better. And you're like, as we say, coming onto your product now, you've got a product, the Arbitrage Underdog Reloaded, and I've been through your product and I've noted you for a long time. This is like an anti-guru program, as you say, that if one follows the videos and actually follows your system, they can make a really good living online, and hopefully they won't turn into one of the gurus themselves.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, there's a lot of different ways of making money online. You can release your own products. You can do CPA. You can do PPC. All that stuff. We just happened to find, when we came up with the idea for it, we just noticed there was a lot of people who were making money doing arbitrage, between Craigslist and Fiverr, and we decided why not automate the process, because when I spoke with some of them, they said that the process was excruciating and it took a lot of time. And so we just came first off with a pretty basic version of it, and since then, we've improved upon it, sped it up, added all the bells and whistles, so now it's turned into this automated suite that can help anyone make really good money online. We have full training videos, step-by-step training, so that anyone can do it. It doesn't matter if you're a newbie or not. And the great thing about it is that what you do is you use the software to find people on the left-hand side of the screen from Craigslist looking to get a service done, like having a logo made. Say they want to pay $300-400. And then you find it matches you up with a Fiverr seller on the other side that will do the job for $5. So you cash in the difference. So if it was $300, you'd make $295. And the great thing about it is, and this is based from just overwhelming feedback from our users, is that you're not going to be a slave to Craigslist and Fiverr for the rest of your life. You're not going to have to constantly chase it down. What happens to people is once they start getting 1 gig, 2 gigs, 3 gigs, they turn into repeat clients, they turn into referrals, they turn into high-end clients, and all of a sudden they have these big businesses. And that's the proof is in our testimonials once again, because these are people making $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 a week from this. They get so much work that they have to outsource it and stuff like that. So that's the great thing about our business model. But the common denominator here is you got to be willing to work for it, because we have the crowds who gets the software and then they have the attitude of, I'm going to try this. If it works, great, I'll be happy. If it doesn't work, oh well, then I'll just try something else. And as long as that's your attitude, you're doomed for failure. The only way to succeed with Arbitrage Underdog or anything online is you have to commit yourself. You have to say, okay, I'm going to make money with this. Be specific. How much money are you going to make? Or by when are you going to? Not even by when, because that's actually a fallacy. But for instance, I think a 3-week goal is a really good goal, and I've coached a lot of people, a lot of customers of Arbitrage Underdog to use that goal too. And we help them along the way. We encourage them to email us if they have questions. But as long as you stay committed to it, you're not willing to work, and you repeat what you do every day, you don't try to reinvent the wheel. You simply follow our video directions and our text directions. It's very hard not to be successful with it.
Wow, so that's a very important point that you made then. I think I'd just like to just break that apart, if I may. I think the first thing that you said, what's important is that you've got a system that works, and people have to keep it simple. So I think when people start overcomplicating things online and not follow the recipe, then they are already doomed for failure. Second point that I like that you said is it does take work, and like everything in life, it takes work. Like with your music, I'm sure you put in thousands and thousands of hours to get to where you are, and it didn't come overnight. And one of the biggest newbie traps that people get into is one day they're doing a bit of arbitrage, and the next day they're doing Facebook ads, and the next day they're doing, they may be doing whatever, like they may be doing a bit of YouTube. And I like what you say is that one should get really good at something and stick at it and not give up so easily, because oftentimes, success is close by, but people give up too easily. And so I think those are all amazing points. I really, really, really do agree with that. And I'd like to also ask you, it's very interesting because one question that came to my mind, and then I actually caught myself quite quickly, is that maybe one thinks that people on, for example, Craigslist know about Fiverr, but is it right when I'm saying is that even though like we know about Fiverr and we know, for example, even how to do even say a Facebook ad, there are thousands and thousands of people out there that don't know about these services, and you can do the arbitrage, and you can come in and add that value, because stuff that we know about, like that we close to. I was speaking to a guy here in Johannesburg the other day, and I said to him, "Have you ever heard of Fiverr?" And I was even trying to explain it to him, and he's a guy in finance, and he actually couldn't even understand what I was saying. So am I right in saying that even though we know about these sort of services, that there are a ton of people that do not know about it, and that's where the opportunity comes in?
Oh yeah, no, I mean most people don't know about Fiverr, and honestly, if everyone knew about Fiverr, a lot of the graphic design agencies would go out of business. A lot of independent graphic designers would go out of business, and but the most important proof in the pudding is this: if the people on Craigslist knew about Fiverr, there would be no ads on Craigslist. They would just go to Fiverr. So that's that's really all the proof that you need. Fiverr is something that only internet marketers really know about. They're trying to do TV commercials and this and that, but it's always going to be an inside industry. And again, everything that I say is kind of unnecessary, because the only thing that you really need is go to Craigslist. If you use our software, pull it up, and there's hundreds of results. All these people looking for logos or illustrations or whatever, and they're willing to pay hundreds of dollars. They just wouldn't do that if they knew about Fiverr. So and it's not a bad thing. Some people, well, I feel kind of guilty, doing arbitrage. No, you're actually doing everyone a favor. The guy on Craigslist went on Craigslist because he most probably consulted with a graphic agency that quoted him $5,000. He can't afford it, so now he gets it for $300. He's thrilled to death. The Fiverr guy, he makes a ton of orders, and most Fiverr guys, they outsource it. They have people from the Philippines where a dollar equals like $100 or something like that. So everyone wins in this scenario.
Everyone does win, and you're 100% right. And it's the same thing to empower ourselves, and you're doing someone a huge favor. Like I am actually doing a video at the moment, which I'm trying to do almost like as a small infomercial to sell my coaching services. And then I thought, there's a guy in Johannesburg here that I know, he lives in my area, and he's actually done some nice documentaries. And I spoke to him at a barbecue the other day, and I saw him. I said, how much would it cost to do like a 4 or 5 minute little infomercial, he said $1,500 to $2,000 to start off with. I said to him, are you joking? I can get that done on Fiverr for $50. He said to me, what's Fiverr? They must be poor quality. And again, that goes back to as well like what I was saying earlier, and that's why I also try to catch myself, is we have oftentimes limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts. And I think the Arbitrage Underdog, and it's like an example of almost my previous WSO. My previous WSO of the day was where I showed people how to rank videos very quickly on on YouTube to do review videos, and someone asked me, what happens if everyone does this? Won't there be saturation? And my answer was clear. First of all, there's a ton of products coming out every single day, so I don't believe that there could ever be saturation. And second of all, is that a lot of people that even buy this WSO for a couple of bucks that's got all the information, a lot of people don't follow through, and they self-sabotage themselves almost. So I think I think if someone buys the Arbitrage Underdog and actually sticks at it, as you say, and they follow it through and they commit to it, they're going to do really well, and they can have a great income. And as you say, they can remain like you, is humble and not become a so-called guru and not think that they're better than anyone else, because if the more people that you can help, the better. And I think it's also great that you haven't just kept the system to yourself, but you're sharing it with a lot of people, and it just shows also like an abundance mentality and thinking from your point of view, is that you're not worried that this is going to add competition, because again, it's such a big market anyway, and the more people that are doing, the better. Plus, we know is unfortunately like a lot of people aren't going to stick at it, and I know that your hope is, and my hope is, that anyone that picks us up should stick to it and should implement it, and they can really have a better life for themselves and their family and their communities, etc. Do you agree with that?
You know what? You broke up the last 10 seconds. I couldn't hear what you were saying. Right before you said, do you agree with that?
So what I was saying is that, I'll repeat that. I think it shows for you like a lot of like a great abundant thinking, that you didn't keep this whole software to yourself, and you are sharing it with a lot of people. And I know that your hope for all your customers, as it's always been, is that
now I got it.
The more people that use the system properly, the better. And I think it shows that like a lack thinking would be saying that, it's going to bring a lot of more competition, but there is enough work to go around.
Yeah, no, I mean, saturation has never been a problem, and often I get people, from previous launches of Arbitrage Underdog, there's over 5,000 people who purchase our software, so it would be natural to say, well, Craigslist is only so big, what's even the point of getting it now? Well, here's the thing, the sad truth in internet marketing is, conservatively 99.5 or probably 99.9% of all marketers, they don't see a product through past their first week. They try, and then when they don't make a ton of money or $1 million in their first week, they just give up. So a product where 5,000 people have purchased it, realistically within 1 to 2, maybe 3 weeks afterwards, out of those 5,000 people, there might be, I don't know, 20 people who are still doing it. That's the truth of it. Which it's a sad statistic, but it's also an encouraging statistic for those who are willing to actually do the work. And that's why I'm never worried about saturation, in this day and age. Like the seminar that I held, for the group that you're in, I shared some secrets that I'm the only person in the world who know about them. But at the same time, I wasn't afraid of sharing them, because if you have that mentality that you can't share stuff, it's a poor mentality that just, I don't know, it never worked for me, because life is all about, you develop. If you teach something to someone and then they do it, well, watch what they do. Maybe you can learn something from them. Maybe they'll take it to the next level. We'll give you an idea. Oh wow, now you'll take it yet to the next level, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And look, like a lot of people have even like remarked to me, like, wow, like you've done so well, Saul, in such a short period of time. And I have had, thank God, some nice success. But I believe that I work harder than most people that I know, and like every single product that I have purchased, I've been through it properly in a number of times, and I've just implemented, and I've failed, and I've implemented, and like it's actually not so, the competition isn't that stiff in our industry because most people aren't implementing it, and the more people that can implement it, the better. And it's the same thing. It's just like a small fact is that I was in Cape Town this weekend, as you know, like I went to see my kids, and they live in the city, Cape Town. It's a beautiful city, and it's just like small things make a big difference. Like, for example, you can get a nice apartment for, say, $1,100 US, but you can get like a much better one for $1,600 US. Like that extra $500, you could like really get like even an extra bedroom or a beautiful view. And it's just such a small difference. Like $500 isn't that much, and like one can easily even make that in a day in our business. And that's why like I'm so committed, and I know that I have been like one of the 1 or 2% of the people that have actually implemented them, and it's a wonderful feeling, and I know that you have as well. And that's my only wish for anyone that's watching this, guys, is that Tom has come out with such a wonderful product here. You'll see on the sales page when it comes out that there's overwhelming social proof of people that have really made this work. And let's hope that you can be like part of that 1% or 2% of people that do follow this through. I'm sure nothing will make Tom happier. Nothing will make me happier. And the more people that succeed and that can be success stories, that would be a great thing. And then I think there would be actually less of a need for gurus, in my opinion, because then you can become your own guru, and that's what it's all about. So Tom, that's really amazing. Let's just go over your product, the Arbitrage Underdog Reloaded. So it's coming out tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 18th. Wednesday the 18th. That's right. Wednesday the 18th of February at, is it 11 a.m.?
Yeah, 11 Eastern.
11 a.m. Eastern time. And can you tell us like the pricing and how that's structured?
I'm sorry. Oh, the pricing. Yeah. We've had it at $47 for a long time. We have a one-time offer at $67. But the other week we reached a milestone number of people who had downloaded, and purchased our product. And so to celebrate, we wanted to give back. So what we've done is we've decided to revert back to the pricing that we had when it first came out in 2013. And so we will be offering it at $27 on the front end for anyone who wants to purchase the the upgraded version of it with all the bells and whistles. It's $37 instead of $67.
Wonderful. So just to make it clear for people, when they do purchase, they're going to be getting the software which will automatically like show on the left hand side, as you say, like the Craigslist jobs, and then it also matches it up to the Fiverr people that can fulfill that job, so you can do the arbitrage. And then it comes with a whole lot of training videos and the full instructions of how to make sure that you work this whole system properly.
Yeah, it's and if anyone has been listening to this and they're a little intimidated, well, I'm gonna do that. I don't know how to contact people. We tell you everything, okay? I mean, there's templates for just about everything there is to do. There's wording, so there really isn't anything to be worried about. We don't do phone calls. We simply do emails. I hate dealing with, I don't like cold calling. We're not going to be cold calling anything. It's just simply people who are actively looking, desperate to get stuff made, like logos, illustrations, stuff like that. You simply follow our templates, contact them. Then you hook up with a Fiverr guy. We explain what to do there. We explain everything, the whole process, through over-the-shoulder videos. So the whole thing is really streamlined. It's very newbie-friendly. At the same time, we have a lot of advanced marketers that are also using this. What they do is they learn the business, and then they outsource it, and then boom, they have another, $2,000 a week income on the side that's 100% outsourced. But I want to say this, I've had a lot of people, they purchase the software and they're like, Tom, tell me how to outsource this. They want to outsource it before they do it themselves. Big mistake. You should never do that. You need to do this business yourself. You need to prove to yourself, You know, I mean, one thing is that you see the social proof, but you still need to prove it to yourself that you can do it, and you need to know every aspect of the business, because unless you do, you will not be able to outsource this, because you'll never know, you know, if your outsourcers are doing a good job. If they have a question, you won't know how to answer it.
Oh, completely, and that's a great point. I think that's a great point for all of marketing. You know, I think that even if you had to, for example, outsource AdWords, it's still important to actually understand how AdWords work and know that you know how to do it yourself before you would outsource it anyway for your business. Even because you know, there's a lot of agencies that would take advantage of you, and the same thing, like similar to this, that if you outsource it to people, it's if you don't know how it works yourself, it's like, you know, you're putting like your core business into someone else's hands, which actually isn't a good idea. So Tom, thank you. I really appreciate you talking to me today. It's been inspiration to speak to you, and thank you for always being so kind to me online. And I wish you all the best of luck for your launch. I know that it's going to help so many people, and I feel 100% confident stamping my name to this, because I know how important it is to give people a system that really works, and you've proven to yourself, you've proven to all of us that the system does work, and there's absolutely no doubt about that. And for anyone that's listening to this, and you know, just that, for something that you could leave us with, for someone that's tried like a whole lot of different systems, or they've tried to have success online and they haven't succeeded, what's your one bit of advice you can leave us with today?
The one bit of advice that I have is you need to find something that you're passionate about. It doesn't mean that it's gonna like set your soul on fire every time you do it, and it needs to be profitable. But speaking for myself, I did not find success in this business until I found something that I was passionate about. For me, that was product creation, you know, because I get to use my creativity. I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it is Arbitrage Underdog. I don't know. You can check out the sales page, see if it is for you. Maybe it isn't. You know, if it seems really boring to you, well then don't get it. But you know, here's the thing: if you've been struggling for years, or you're just starting out, you know, save yourself years of struggle, and make sure you find something that there's a lot of money potential, but something that your heart needs to be in it. I promise you this. You only do something for the money, just for the lure of the money, and there's nothing exciting about the business itself, you will fail.
Great. Well,
that's
great.
I just didn't want to end on a negative note, you know, but the thing is, if you add the passion to it, then you will succeed.
For sure. Well, that's no doubt, and I know, especially even for your music, I'm sure you practice, and you have so many rehearsals, and you also you travel, and then you're passionate about that, otherwise you wouldn't be able to do that. And I think it's like that with everything in life. And I agree with you 100%, is that, you know, we see it even with employees in jobs, is that money doesn't keep employees happy. If they're not happy even at their work, it's the same thing with us entrepreneurs. It's not going to last long. And that's wonderful advice to leave us with, Tom. So thank you so much again for your time. I wish you all the best of luck. And anyone that's watching this, you've been listening to Saul Maraney from Johannesburg, South Africa. Today I've been speaking to Tom. His product is coming out. You know, take advantage of this. If, as I say, go to the web page. If it resonates with you, go for it. But know that you are going to be buying a product that is proven. And Tom's one of the top guys online, and you know, you can see he's real, and he's not a arrogant guru, as we say. And we need more guys like you, Tom. So thanks so much. I really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you so much for having me.